Round 4 of the Smithies VFL, and it's going to be Max Johnson for Northern to take on the Bailey, Welsh it is, for the Angus Grant. I'll get it right. It's a terrible start, isn't it? And he's given away a free kick, Angus Grant. It's a free kick going to the Bullants to get things underway. Paddy Fairley has to give it away to Johnson, who then gives it back. Fairley kicked a wonderful goal last week. Sends the kick towards half forward. Crosby overran the footy. Getting back there for the Dolphins was Josh Smith, dispossessed, taken away by O'Leary. He fired the kick back out towards the halfback. Fairley will get it again. Fed the little hand pass through. It'll end up coming to Franks, who'll turn inside. Gave the handball back to Johnson. He missed his target. The pressure on from Frankston was good, and it's out of play.
You've got some late changes there, Jonty, haven't we? So we've got Frankston, we have Joe Lloyd out, and we have Harrison Jones in.
Yeah, Joe Lloyd was due to play his first game of the season tonight, but is a late withdrawal. So Harrison Jones makes his VFL debut. We'll tell you about him in a minute, as O'Leary sends the kick around the corner towards half forward. Juggling effort. Really nice mark by big Harrison Coe on debut as well for Frankston. Gives the hand pass off, driven forward by Gown in towards the goal square. Noons at the back, dropped the mark he probably should have taken. Spills out towards the boundary line, and, well, that was never going to be anything but out of bounds on the full from Tomo Owens.
Really good defence there from William Wallace.
Important stuff, and the free kick will be taken by Sam Hayes, who brings it out to halfback. Dangerous kick, it hung in the air. It was picked off by Georgie Gray, who knocks it over the line for a throw-in. Yeah, Harrison Coe, 202 centimetres, 24 years of age, from Beaconsfield, a forward ruck. He's a big, big boy, as we saw him take a contested mark there already on VFL debut tonight for Frankston. Johnson taps it down to ground level, dodging and weaving, and hooking it back there is Murphy. Sends a high ball in towards full forward. It should be a comfortable mark. Judging at best was Hayes, and he took it, and he brought it straight back out of defence. Big flight coming! That was Jorgensen. He couldn't drag it down. Doing the roving is Milne. Fires the kick in towards the pocket. Diving effort from Johnson. It's just out of range, and it's out of play for a throw-in.
And for the Bullants, a couple of players suspended last week. Very important players for them, so they'll definitely miss them tonight.
Yeah, no question about that. Liam Mackey with a 4-week suspension, and John Romeliotis with 2 for incidents against Marcus Herbert, who's in the concussion protocols from Geelong, unfortunately. The tap out the back was good. Velasaris gave it to El Hawley, who dodged a couple. He was their best last week, Sard. Got it to Franks, who then gave the handball back to Fairley. 47 touches in round 1 for Paddy Fairley, and that's a lovely kick for Rowan McKenzie, a debutant for the Bullants. Again, with information coming soon as the kick to half forward. Jorgensen couldn't take the mark. Trying to dodge and weave through is Minot. Did a good job. 1-2. Nice work taken away. Barlow received from Owens. Not the best of kicks by Tane Barlow. Bounce away, and after all that, we're in exactly the same position.
It makes me look like I'm a good kick with that.
So for Frankston, they made 3 changes from last week originally. Harrison Coe, Joe Lloyd and Connor Riley in for his first game of the year and his 49th. Lloyd since replaced by Harry Jones. So 2 debutants there for Frankston. Harrison Coe, who we've told you about. Harrison Jones, a 186 centimetre, 20-year-old from Old Haileybury via the Dandenong Stingrays. As Hayes can't break clear, and it's going to be tied up. The umpire will come in and sort it out. So good luck to Harrison Jones making his debut. Turned 20 about a month ago.
Good on him.
So that is Grant winning the tap down. Owens tries to barge through, wrapped up by Max Johnson. Did he take him on? He certainly did. The umpire was circling. It looked like he was going to blow it.
I thought he was.
He changed his mind at the last minute. So out of the team, Josh Butland, who kicked 5 goals against Port Melbourne on Good Friday. He has a finger injury. He's out for 6 weeks with that. Kyle Stainthorpe also injured, and Trent Marotta was omitted for Frankston as the kick came down to centre wing. Jorgensen put into the fence by Josh Smith in a fair contest.
Yep.
And it's out of play right in front of our broadcast position.
He's a big boy, Josh Smith.
Certainly is, and he'll need to be to go with Big John. One of the 2 Big Johns at the Bullants, of course, Romeliotis being the other one not playing. Max Johnson with the tap, slapped forward by Murphy. Minot tried to go through. He's going to end up with the football, but not for long. El Hawley just dumped him. There was a hint of a spear there, but certainly not deliberate. It was just the way it was.
Thought he could have been paid holding the ball too. I thought he had prior.
Could have went either way. As the umpire sees a holding free kick in the ruck here, and it's going to go to Big Grant. Angus Grant drives in towards full forward, and no one there able to get a run at it for the Dolphins. Safe mark was taken by Wallace, who went short. You'll potentially even get it back here. This is El Hawley in the back pocket. As I said, Bullants best in their loss to Geelong last week. Paddy Fairley was their best against North Melbourne in round 1. Gave it back to El Hawley. Dangerous. They made a meal of it here. They've turned it over. Hand pass came out to Minot. Can he shrug Crosby? He can't. Fed it back to Gray. Can he shrug? He can't. Good work by the Bullants to win the football back. It was excellently done by Franks. In fact, it was Alex Jacobs, and they end up winning a free kick. And it'll be taken for the Ants by McKenzie, who puts it out wide. Strong mark taken there by Goodman. Showed some nice signs, Mason Goodman, on debut last week. Long kick down to half forward, and Josh Smith was too strong, and he took the mark in front of Crosby.
Good pressure and tackling there from Bullants before.
No score yet, but it's a hot game so far, isn't it? Kick into the middle of the ground, finds Murphy. Oh, he gave the handball when he shouldn't have. Velasaris stole it. The quick kick inside 50 wasn't good either, and it's been chopped off by Big Max Williams. He'll go short. That is nice. It's in the hands of Quirk. Puts it down to Owens, juggles and takes. In fact, Lockie Reedy, that is, who will play on. Draw the man, gave the hand pass off to Quirk. Down to half forward he goes, on the lead, strong grab Gown. Might be just outside his range, although he's pointing towards the goals here.
He is a long kick.
He is a long kick. The man on the mark's at about 52. So it'll take everything he's got.
There's no hint of wind at all tonight.
Perfect conditions for footy. Ground in remarkable condition. Noah Gown, 4 goals for the season so far. He decides to set it up. Charging out was Coe. Couldn't take the mark. Ball to ground level. Hand pass out. Gave a chance for Frankston, but El Hawley calmly rushes it through for the first score of the game.
The two Frankston players sport each other.
And the Ants will bring it back into play. This is Bailey Tome, who moves it quickly down towards the wing. Back with the flight of the ball. Gray did enough to make the spoil on Goodman, but Goodman stayed in the contest. Numbers with Frankston, however. Lucas Edmonds lost possession of the football. Over the top of it is Voss here. And they did well not to give away a free kick there, Northern.
I really like the in and under stuff from the Bullants at the moment, and they're tackling really well.
Very competitive. They work really hard, Northern Bullants, as you'd expect, under Rowan Welsh. Velasaris' kick was smothered. That was by Reedy, and it'll find its way over the line.
I remember Velasaris. I saw him in a couple of games last year when I was commentating. He's a very good player.
Dominant breakout season, Jean-Luc Velasaris. Went from a forward pocket to a best and fairest winning midfielder. Yep. Made the state squad earlier this year. Didn't get the final 23, but that just shows how far he's come. As Murphy sends it to half forward. Charging off the line is Hayes. Gives the hand pass off. Clearing kick came from Mantis out towards the wing. In the hands of Donegan, who went back into El Hawley, who's racking them up early. Yeah. Sard El Hawley. Centering ball back across to halfback. It's with McMillan. Long kick looking for Goodman. Thumped away from him by Voss. Tracks towards the line. And Cooper sees it over. Playing his first game for the Northern Bullants today after 3 for the Brisbane Lions last season, an academy product out of Queensland. Boundary throw in. We'll get to those Bullants changes for you shortly. There just hasn't been an opportunity. The game has not stopped. It's going to be a ball up here, though, you would think. The umpire happy to let them fight it out a bit longer. Some early numbers.
El Hawley, 6 disposals, 2 tackles already. Fairley, 5 disposals, 1 tackle.
They're in everything, aren't they, those two? Ball flipped down by Will Elliott fairly. Got it back to Mantas, who tumbled a kick towards the forward side of the wing. Crosby goes with the centering ball to Wallace. He will play on with the switch. They're building here. Hayes takes it at half back, steps around Johnson, fires the kick towards half forward. Williams jumped. Jorgensen stayed down and took the mark. Well judged. And Johnny Jorgensen can have a shot from about 50 metres out, round about straighter than a 45-degree angle, isn't it, with the narrow pockets here at Frankston?
Probably say about a 48.
So John Jorgensen, 3 goals in the first 2 games since crossing from Essendon in the off-season. He'll kick from right on the 50.
Ooh.
He didn't get any purchase on it at all, but it'll work. And Goodman takes the mark at the top of the square.
I think Jorgensen kicked the ground as he kicked the football then.
Took a piece of turf out.
He's probably going to say he was passing it.
Look what happens when you play in front.
That's exactly right.
Mason Goodman looking for his first goal in VFL footy from the Essendon Duda Stars. Called a Cannons boy. Showed some nice signs last week in that game against Geelong. So he'll kick from about 20 metres, straight in front, shouldn't be an issue. And the Bullants, after 11 and a half minutes, have finally got the first goal of the game.
Yep. You're right, there's only been the 1 goal, and there's been a lot of pressure put on from both sides, and most of the ball's actually probably been up in Frankston's forward line. They just haven't been able to convert or get anyone to take a mark close in. So well done to the Bullants. Good start.
Few mistakes coming both ways, but the endeavour, you certainly cannot question that. For the Bullants, Josh Cooper, as I mentioned, into the team. Brisbane Lions Academy product, played 3 games for the Lions last year. He's a 20-year-old, 187 centimetres. Also played for the Allies last year. Sam Donegan played in round 1. He's back into the team. And Rowan McKenzie on debut, an 18-year-old from Ivanhoe Football Club, now with Old Ivanhoe and the Northern Knights. So good luck to him as he makes his debut. As Frank's got the hand pass off. Ball sent forward by Jacobs towards the 50. Well judged, but then put down that ball by Moran. And the umpire will come in and sort it out. So going out of the team, Liam Mackey with the 4-week suspension. John Romeliotis suspended for 2 weeks. And Jason McCormick, the North Melbourne recruit, was omitted for the Northern Bullants. Lockie Riley got a hand pass off. The quick kick was put forward by Murphy. Getting out the back here now is the late inclusion in Jones. And his kick is nice inside 50 and finds Gown. And this time he is within range.
Yeah, he'll definitely have a shot here. And going through those players before and the clubs they come from, again, it's fantastic that so many amateur players are getting a go in the VFL. It's been happening the last couple of years, and it shows how good a standard amateur football is.
It's a wonderful competition, the VAFA. There's no question about it. Lots of ex-AFL players filtering back through that league, which is only improving the standard of the competition and the young players coming through playing with them. So Noah Gown playing at his 4th VFL club, Essendon, Williamstown and Sandringham previously. He's hooked this kick, much to the delight of the Bullants fans below us, and through for a behind.
It's pretty much the way he was aiming all the way there, wasn't it? He didn't really look like he was going to kick that straight.
They do regularly have issues with their accuracy, Frankston. Their win over Port Melbourne came despite kicking, I think it was 13-17 to 11-5. So they've really got to take their opportunities. As the ball came long towards the wing. Oh, Elliott! Terrific mark by the young big man. Plays on. Wobbles the kick up towards half forward. Floating back Jorgensen, couldn't take it. Goodman managed to get it out of there, but then got run down from behind by Owens. Spills out to Velasaris. Elliott again. Steps around traffic. Bangs it on the boot once more. High kick towards half forward. Williams with the double fister brought it down. Numbers at the back for Frankston. Moran gave it to Gray. Hooks it around the corner. Lovely vision. Finds Smith. And he will go quickly. Josh Smith down towards half forward. Harrison Jones couldn't take the mark. Good defensive effort there by... that was the big man at the back in Josh Cooper, and he sees it over for a throw-in. So the crowd just starting to get into it again. They love it when it's in front of them over on the hill. Not so easy for us. Seb Quirk gathered the footy, but there's a free kick in the ruck going to the Bullants. And it's going to Maxie Johnson, who kicks to half forward. Fired out of there by Smith, a big long hand pass. O'Leary tries to keep it in play, does, but then got wrapped up straight away by Hamilton. Ball spills out the back. They've got another turnover here, the Bullants. Velasaris gave it to Jacobs. Mantis back to Velasaris. Over the top, they have to get it going quickly. McMillan got it across to Cooper. Not the best of kicks. Turnover time. It's pinging around. Reedy gave it off. Now charging through the middle there was Voss, who goes to half forward. It's coming back again. Cooper gave it off. That is Wallace. Fires all the way back to the defensive goal square for the switch. And away they go. Hayes to Mantis. Not the best of kicks at the footlaces of Paddy Fairley and out of play.
Yeah, certainly here when the ball is out of bounds or the umpires are into the game out there, they've got about 500 people helping them to umpire, haven't they?
Yep, and they do all over the ground. Certainly in front of the pod. As Grant goes to ground, Johnson won the tap, Max. Owens ran into Johnson and got poleaxed. Connor Riley's caught. Dispossessed. How'd he get rid of it? Umpire said that was okay on the Mantis tackle. Tristan Wack ran into the pack and couldn't get out.
Yeah, it's a very low-scoring game so far.
Geez, it's pinging around. Yeah. Need a drink at quarter time, that's for sure. Ball tumbled towards 50. It's going to come straight back out there again. Fairley onto the left boot. Kick was smothered. Velasaris, whack. Fairley through traffic. Nicely done there by Hamilton. Chiselled the kick short. Swinging through, but kicking into the man on the mark was Donegan. Turnover time. Minot sends it towards full forward. Beautiful kick. Hard lead, Jack Nunes.
As it was. Played on.
Plays on, hooks it around the corner, and the Dolphins finally get on the board after 17 minutes.
What a great kick that was to News. You ran out the back of the two Bullants defenders, and he hit him on the chest beautifully.
Wonderful kick by Trent Minot. And Jack Nunes really put in the hard yards to get down there and provide the option too.
So we've got Fairley, who's had 9 disposals so far and 1 tackle. Velasaris, 7 disposals. Al Hawley, 6 disposals, 2 tackles, and Murphy for Frankston, 5 disposals.
So the big names getting their hands on the football early. It is a real pinball game at the moment.
And Johnson from the Bullants has already had 7 hit-outs, 1 tackle.
He's doing well, isn't he? Max Johnson, undersized ruckman, 196 centimetres. Angus Grant at 200. Certainly a solid body is Max Johnson. He goes in and wins it down again. Jacobs stood up in the tackle. Velasaris crunched but shoved. Frankston don't like it, but it's there. Connor Riley gives away the free kick. Velasaris kicked the ground. Turnover time, not quite. Matt King's up to the task. Gave it off. Spinning through there was Tome, but he lost possession of the football. Another great tackle put on by Naina. Brought the footy to ground. On the left boot, Cooper. It's going to be given out of bounds on the full.
Okay.
And that was Donegan in the pink boots in his second game. Naina receives the kick in. That was from Reedy, who wrapped around to try and give it back. Tyson Milne's got the long sleeves on. Or his old man did that a fair bit for St Kilda, didn't he? Kick towards half forward is not good. And Matt King takes the intercept mark, the captain of the Ants. Normally co-captain with Mackie, who's not playing. Sam Hayes left the football behind. That creates a problem. Woll might have been pushed in the back. Umpire said no. It'll spill out to Tome, who got back onto the left boot. Tumbled it to half forward. Fly from Goodman. Couldn't bring it down. Jorgensen's there. Smith wins the football. Gave it off to Voss. Fed it to O'Leary. He will take off. Nice kick towards half forward. Strong hands, Reedy. Centering kick into the middle of the ground for Murphy. He wants to go quickly as well. Lovely kick towards half forward. Great work getting across from King to get in front of Nunes. Brought the footy to ground. El Hawley moves it on quickly. Donegan plays on, goes to half forward. Ball brought to ground. Numbers here with the Dolphins. Can they break clear? They can. Gray to Owens to Williams. Up towards half forward. Nice kick. At the back there is Burke. There was a whistle. Umpire paid the mark, then said play on. Burke lost possession of the footy and it went out of play.
He actually paid a free kick for front on contact.
Okay, I didn't think he'd marked it. And yeah, we're doing well to try and keep up with them because they're
doing well.
If they can keep this pace going all night, we are in for a treat. Frankston by 2 points early doors. Knocked down by Johnson once again. Trying to burrow his way through his quirk. He's dragged down by Fairley. Umpire's ball.
A few of the players when they've gone to kick it tonight have sort of slipped, haven't they? I don't know whether it's a bit dewy or...
I think it might be the dew coming in for the first time this year, whether they expected that or not. As we see Hamilton wrapped up at the base of this pack. Umpires tonight, Alex Murray, number 6, Luke Porter, number 14, and Matt Marnie, number 24, blowing the whistle in green. Max Johnson's off to a wonderful start. He won another hit out. It doesn't clear the zone, and it finishes the same way the previous play did, with Fairley tackling Quirk to ground. Johnson again. Quirk on the right. Spins it back towards full forward, floating in from the side. It was stolen off hands, and the shot at goal is good. And it is Johnson, Matty Johnson, who's kicked the second goal for Frankston. Good opportunistic effort. It looked like for all money that William Wallace was going to take that mark, but just stolen off his hands and banged through.
Yeah, it's that situation when you're a defender. Do you go to mark it? And when you don't mark it, it can all go pear-shaped, can't it? And
spike it over the fence from there.
Yeah, exactly. So
but then again, if you can get two hands to it, which he did, I always say, take the mark.
Take the mark. Yep. We're just coming up.
And he wasn't far away from it either.
He wasn't. We're just coming up to 22-minute mark. Obviously not going to be a long quarter. We've only the 3 goals kicked so far. Well, there has been a few stoppages though.
Yeah, and we do have one of the most switched-on timekeepers you'll ever see over there.
Oh, Robbo, he's a legend.
He is. He does not miss a thing. Umpire Marnie puts it down. Grant won the tap, stolen away by Murphy. Fires it inside 50, charging out Gown. King was in the road again. He received a hospital handball. Can he get it out of there? He can't, and the umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. So just inside the 50 for the Dolphins, who've worked their way to an 8-point lead. Grant into open space. Nice little hand pass. Minot receives. Arches the back, gets around, but can't kick straight.
That would have been a blinder of a goal, that one.
O'Leary gave him the handball. Minot did well to get a clear shot at goal, but he just couldn't get his weight back onto his good side, could he? As Hayes pumps it up to the wing, Jorgensen flies, front and centre, Goodman outside of the left boot, floats it towards the wing. Moran couldn't take the mark, Donegan, a little bit of a fumble, but then got it back, gave it to Goodman, bumped off the footy, nicely done by Barlow. Donegan went again, Elliott bumped as he kicked it, and it'll be out of bounds on the full before Tristan Wack can get a hand on the footy.
Yeah, well, that was a great bump, wasn't it?
Perfectly timed too. Free kick to Frankston, defensive side of the wing. O'Leary brings it up towards our position, and once again Hayes judges it the best and takes the mark. The switch is on here. El Hawley leaves it for Cooper. And he will play on quickly and give it to Saad El Hawley. So a lot of left footers for the Northern Bullants, isn't there?
Yeah.
Skill level will improve with experience. There's not a lot there, experience-wise, of course. As El Hawley went short and gave it to Goodman, who will thump it down towards half forward. Big fly from the back. And the mark, however, in the front was taken by Maxie Williams. Goes across to centre half back. Barlow Lovely kick through the middle of the ground. Johnson gives it off to the running Moran. Chips towards Gown and gets him. Great football, Dolphins.
How was the kick from Barlow?
Absolutely spot on. And they look good when they move the football, Frankston.
They do. I've noticed the Bullants a lot so far. They're going for the switch. And look, that's okay.
They're learning. They're learning a new game plan. As are Frankston under Jackson Cornberg, who, of course, took Gold Coast to a preliminary final in 2022. Laid the foundations for that historic flag last year. Gown from 52 metres out. It'll land in the goal square. It wasn't touched. It wasn't, I don't think, but it was the wrong side of the post.
Geez, that nearly bounced through.
So second behind for Noah Gown. Short pass is accurate to Velasaris. And JL has it in the back pocket. Pops it in front of the change rooms. And they're happy to just take a little bit of sting out of this now. Wallace back to King. Switch on again, dangerous, but it got to Hayes. Sammy Hayes has had a good start for the Bullants. Thumps the kick long. El Hawley flies in, and Jorgensen once again just stays on the ground and takes it in the chest.
Reads it well.
He does. Velasaris received, went to Crosby, front on contact for sure.
50.
Yep, 50-metre penalty, and Jared Crosby will get a chance to have a shot at goal from around about 35 metres out. A little bit, I suppose, crude from Tane Barlow, that one.
Yeah, I feel the Bullants players have let him know about it.
Certainly didn't hit him high, so I don't think there'd be too much to worry about later in the week.
And I think he probably could have gone in a bit harder. I think he did sort of come back a bit on the impact. He did pull out, yes. But the right decision made, and Jared Crosby will kick from 40 metres out. And it would be no less than the Bullants deserve in this first quarter. From 42, in fact, he's kicked it pretty well. It doesn't hold its line. It's just out to the right for Jared Crosby. Margin back to 9 points. And it's going to be Gray. Played in the state team after crossing from Casey this year. Donegan couldn't pick it up. Hand pass came out from Smith. It went straight back in. Velasaris was involved. Lockie Riley caught. Got caught high as well. Advantage not paid. It's going to come all the way back to Lockie Riley. As we tick towards quarter time here. Riley brings it inboard. Voss had to protect the ball drop and did. Now to Murphy. So happy the Dolphins to have him back from Somerville this year. Barlow now to Gray. Vice captain on arrival at the club. Tells you everything. George Gray kicks towards full forward. No one able to take the mark. Riley, Lockie couldn't gather it cleanly. Connor Riley is there. Gown shrugged the arm up to try and win the free kick. Didn't. Hayes did the same. Didn't get the kick either. King fed it back. Great smother on the goal line. And it created a rush behind. It was well done by Nick Burke for Frankston. As the Bullants bring it out through Fairley and got it up to Jorgensen, who's making his presence felt, the big man. Playing well.
Is that mark number 3 or 4, I reckon? Big Johnny Jorgensen. So happy that he decided not to step away from VFL after all, as his kick to the wing comes off hands of Maxie Williams. And the siren sounds, a little bit error-riddled the first quarter, but certainly entertaining and breakneck pace it was played at. We'll get the numbers off Elvo shortly, but umpire Murray gets us underway in the second quarter. It'll be taken by Grant, who fed it back to Minot. He'll go by foot towards half forward. Nicely judged kick. And a nicely judged mark by Johnson.
El Hawley, first quarter, 11 disposals, 2 tackles. Velasaris, 11 disposals.
The lead from Coe, couldn't quite take the mark. Good spoil from Hayes, brought the footy to ground, and it's going to be tied up.
Fairley, 10 disposals, 3 tackles. Hayes, 9 disposals, 1 tackle. Interesting, the top 4 disposal getters are all from the Bullants.
Yeah, they worked extremely hard, and Mantis gave it back there to Velasaris, who hooked it up to the middle of the ground. Barlow couldn't take the mark. Arriving, but unable to break the tackle, was Jacobs.
And the highest disposal getter for Frankston, Murphy, 8 disposals.
Good in the middle. It's Tom Murphy. Will Elliott, of course, son of the great Matt, and he wins a free kick for high contest. Of course, the former Australian Test cricketer. Could have been anything if not for that unfortunate knee injury, Matty Elliott, in that collision with Mark
War. Who's ever going to forget that?
Yeah, he could have been anything, Matt Elliott. Hello if you're watching at home as Max Williams flies over the top. The hand pass came through. Jorgensen tries to toe poke to himself and did it twice. Wack took the grab, but the umpire said it wasn't 15. High ball will land in the goal square. El Hawley almost dragged it down. Not quite. Milne takes it out the back. He's in trouble. Managed to shrug the first tackle, but he ran out of real estate. It was nicely done there by that young Bullant in Caleb Franks, playing just his 3rd game. Managed to corral him to the boundary line. So ball back into play. Grant won the tap. Murphy left it behind. Knocked off the football there was Donegan. Ball fell to ground. Did he have the football there? Umpire said play on. O'Leary guides the kick to half forward. Gown on the long lead. Wrapped up. No prior opportunity there. It'll be thrown in the air.
And Will Elliott's got a brother, Sam Elliott, who
does.
plays for Fitzroy Doncaster, also has a rookie contract with Victorian cricket, and he's actually a fast bowler, not like his dad, who was a gun bat.
The opening batsman, yeah. So a footballer and a fast bowler from the opening batsman. Good cricketer too. Was Will, before switching back to footy as that kick from Velasaris goes out of bounds on the full. Milne makes the switch. It continues through the hands of Smith to Williams, who will bring it out to Barlow. Barlow will hold on to the footy at half back, and he'll make the switch all the way back to where it started. Tyson Milne, recruited from Sandringham this year. Lovely kick to Murphy. Steps inside Wack, running past O'Leary. Sends it towards full forward. And Nunes takes the mark. Stretching out for it there was the Bullants defender, but couldn't get there, Ethan Mantis. And Jack Nunes, who we haven't seen much of. He's been playing a deep forward role, but he could have 2 goals by the early stages of the second quarter.
It was almost like he was standing on his own, though.
Lovely foot skills, though, from Frankston once again as they move. When they move the football with pace,
they look good.
They look very good. Jack Nunes with a goal in the first quarter and no goal yet in the second quarter. As we said, with their misses. Remember, they played Bullants here on standalone Saturday, Elvo, and they lost. Bullants won that game 9-2 to 6-17.
I remember that.
So they would be wanting to make sure that doesn't happen again tonight, as O'Leary tracks it to the boundary line and over.
And that, I think, might have been that season about only 1 or 2 games that Bullants won.
No, that was the practice match at the start of this year.
Practice match.
So ball back down, a lovely tap from Grant. Murphy stole it through, sent it to half forward. Johnson in a one-on-one wrestle. The support came from El Hawley. Fed the hand pass back, and now they can come out of defence. Hayes left the footy behind, and that saw it all break down.
Yeah, they've just been a bit sloppy tonight, the Bullants, with their ball movement. A few fumbles.
Certainly committed to the task, which you can never question about the Northern Bullants. This has been thoroughly enjoyable so far. There's been some really good passages spin out as Elliott won the tap down, taken by Jacobs, who fed the handball back to the agency there of Hamilton. Sends it to half forward, not the best of kicks once again. Intercepted safely by O'Leary, who goes inboard. Minot left it for a teammate. Gray received a wonderful hand pass from Owens. Runs to half forward. Wobbles a kick towards Nunes, who spent it before he had it. Was Reedy there as well. They've turned it over again, and the Bullants should come away. Mantis thumps it to half forward. Lovely kick. Jorgensen.
Surely.
Well, front on contact is the decision. Thought he actually got the football going back there, Smith. The umpire didn't agree. Jorgensen kicks into the pocket. Milne thumps the ball to ground. Numbers with Frankston at the back here. Desperation plus to get in there from Bailey Tome. And he will create a stoppage just inside the forward 50.
Yeah, with that free kick, interesting that the umpire closest to the players didn't call it, and the umpire 30 metres away.
Came from a different angle, the decision. Grant tapped it down. Velasaris. This is a chance. Well, it should have been a chance. He sprayed it out of bounds on the full.
The crowd let us know.
Yeah, very quickly. They had the good view of that one. Jackson Voss with the free kick. Bring Joe Lloyd a late withdrawal from what would have been his first game of the season. Replaced by debutant Harrison Jones. Kick up towards the wing. Lovely mark in the front spot taken there by Jorgensen once again. Off to El Hawley. Chips inside 50. Lovely weighted kick. Beautiful mark, Velasaris.
It was a good kick to him, wasn't it?
To advantage. Gave JL every chance. He landed hard. He might have even landed on the footy, JL.
A bit sorry.
Yeah, just a little bit out of breath, I think. He'll be fine.
He's a tough boy.
Yeah. Take his time to regather his composure. And he has to go back and kick this for his team. The best and fairest winner. So he is about 45 metres out from goal. JLV kicked his 50th goal late last season. Still looking for his 51st, but he's got it now. Nice footy by the Bullants. John-Luke Velasaris kicks his first goal of the season, and they cut the margin back inside a kick.
And he's still only 25.
Plenty of time, doesn't he? He's up to 67 games tonight.
And every time I see him, he just looks better and better.
Certainly does.
So suddenly we have a 5-point ball game, where really you would say that Frankston have pretty well been dominating.
The Ants have had plenty of the football. They're just, I suppose, not quite taking their opportunities around the ground, where it's Frankston not taking their opportunities in front of goal.
And 2-6 tells that story.
One down by Grant. Fairley grabbed the footy, but there's a holding free kick, and it's coming back to Paddy Fairley. Before he even got the ball, he was held. So he'll play on. Thump it towards Jorgensen through his hands. Lucas Edmonds fumbled. Jorgensen went back and got it again. Dispossessed. Milne ferreted it through. Edmonds won it back. Velasaris sprayed it into the pocket. Now to play.
He has a real go, Jorgensen.
He does. I like him. I liked him at Essendon last year. He looks a lot fitter than he did at Essendon. He certainly slimmed down a fair bit.
That's right. He was on the Richmond list too, VFL list.
Yeah, maybe the black uniform didn't suit him as much as the red does. It'll be taken away here by Murphy. His kick was partially smothered. Good tackle put on there by Rowan McKenzie. The umpire has called for the footy. Jorgensen beaten for it by Coe, who's had a go in the ruck now. Clearing kick goes out to half-back. Gown couldn't pick it up cleanly. Hayes does, but he can't manage to get through all that traffic. 18 plays 13. Dolphins with the upper hand on the scoreboard, but not necessarily in general play. Fairley tries to make it rain. It was offhand, so Velasaris had to go again straight away. Moran left it behind. Hook kick back around the corner. land in the goal square. Excuse me. Tomo Owens sees it through.
That hook kick was from Tone. Clever kick.
Milne brings it up to the wing. Gown and Hayes worry each other out of the contest. Getting back is Cooper. Gown makes sure that he ends up over the boundary line.
I think Cooper's happy about that too.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Not the worst thing that's come out of my mouth so far this season in the commentary stint. There's one down by Harrison Coe. Fairly lays the tackle. There's no clearance for Tom Murphy.
But as long as you enjoyed the sausage, Jonty.
Yeah, gotta be careful. Tap down. Murphy left it behind from the Naina tap.
Smell of that barbecue's coming up here too.
Making you hungry, is it?
It is.
Make a run for it at half-time because there'll be a long line down there for sure. Maxie Johnson. Minot was caught high. Umpire said play on. Pushed in the back was Reedy. Umpire said play on. It came out now to Owens, who hooks it down towards full forward. 1-on-1, 1-on-2. Mandis knocked it to ground. Can he get there? He can! Jones! Harrison Jones won the race back to the goal line and kicked a goal on his debut.
Jeez, he showed some pace. But with that forward attack, I thought there was 2 free kicks that probably should have gone to Frankston.
Definitely.
There was a too high, and the other one I thought was a blatant in the back. But as we always say, the umpires are there, they're closer, they know what's going on.
Well, it ended up working for them.
Oh,
It's in addition to the pod over there on the hill this year, Elvo. Your first trip to Frankston, my third.
I wasn't too sure what that was then.
Yeah, it's something over there near the drums.
Okay. All right. Look, next time I hear it, I know everything's okay.
We'll work out what it is, but it is over there on the hill. Cap gun or something like that, it sounds like.
Entertaining as always out here.
Oh, you got to love him. Now, umpire Marnie with a nice bounce again. Elliott with the tap. Quirk tried to go through. Non-officiating umpire found a hold, and Fairley will get the free kick again. He'll drive it towards centre half forward. Jorgensen through his hands again at the back. Crosby hooks it back. How will this one bounce? Max Williams is back there quickly. Hooked it back.
Oh, that's a clever kick.
That was very clever. It was dangerous, but he knew what he was doing. And Lockie Reedy has the footy. Brings it to centre wing. Elliott front spot at the back. Jones, who's just kicked a goal. Great confidence boost for him. Knocked away there from Nunes. And Jones is helped over the boundary by McMillan.
As you said before, Johnny, they really do make a contest to Bullants. You know, they never let the opposition get an easy ball.
They pushed Geelong all the way last week till probably about 5 minutes into the last quarter, and they ran out of legs. So they're on the right track. It was fumbled by Coe out of the ruck. Left behind by Jacobs. Minot will sweep through. Jacobs got hold of him. Put a saddle on him. Did well. That looked like a throw. Umpire said play on the little backhander. Strong tackle put on Owens. That was with authority.
That's great to see. And that game last week, I think you might have seen Mark of the Year already.
Yeah, it's going to take some beating. Isaac Keeler took a ripper for Sandringham on the Channel 7 game. I reckon James Willis topped it. There's El Hawley. Swings it around towards the wing. Voss went in with the bump and won the football. Kicks to half forward. 3 to beat, and unable to beat them there was Riley. And the reason why he couldn't beat him was because he was pushed out of the contest.
Yep. Probably lucky that wasn't 50 then.
Lockie Riley with the free kick, 60 metres out from goal. Fires it into the pocket. Big fist over the top came from Mantis, and it went out of play.
They're hanging around the Bullants.
They will, and if you let them hang around, they will start swarming. Grant up against Elliott. Grant with the backhander. Elliott off the ground. Donegan tried to tap it on through Naina. Was taken by Tome, who tumbled a kick towards half forward. The goalkeeper was there, however, in Smith. He gave it to Milne to half forward. Good kick. Grant dropped a mark he probably should have taken. The big fella couldn't bend that far. Caught with the football, but didn't really ever have possession of the footy was McMillan. So that was play on. El Hawley puts on the afterburners. Little kick. Clever tap on there from McKenzie, but the numbers weren't there to support him, and Milne brought it across to Moran, who goes short and turns it over, straight through Franks, runs to 50, Smithy snack time! Wonderful footy by Caleb Franks, and he gets full reward.
That was special. He read that interception beautifully, and once he took that mark, he just said, get out of my way, I'm going to have a shot.
And a memorable first VFL goal for Caleb Franks. We're seeing plenty of them tonight. First VFL goals for Harry Jones, Mason Goodman, and now Caleb Franks, and a first goal of the season for Velasaris.
Oh, we've been spoilt. Just looking at the stats, Velasaris has had 17 disposals, 1 goal, 1 tackle. El Hawley, 16 disposals, 2 tackles.
They are, along with Paddy Fairley, the 3 best players at the Bullants tonight, with Liam Mackey, of course, being out of the side. Umpire wants this one back. So we'll reset.
The ruck battle's even.
Grant tapped it down. Fairly nice hand pass up Velasaris. To half forward he goes. Crosby charges out. Smith got a fist in there. Off the ground went the Dolphins. Hooked back inboard, however. That came from Franks in towards the 50. Williams is caught. Got it across to Milne. Dangerous ball. O'Leary up to the task. And he'll bring it out to Moran. Made his debut in round 1. Just pops it short. Oh, Riley dropped an absolute chest mark and then should have given away a free kick to King for holding. Riley went back and got it again. O'Leary's had his hand pass knocked down by McMillan.
Yeah.
It's entertaining, isn't it? But both teams will probably be wishing they need to play better against the higher ranked sides in the competition. You've got to take your chances. Murphy gets through a couple. Got it off to Reedy. Goes to half forward. Oh, wonderful work there. Just getting a boot in was Mantis, who's done a good job down in defence.
that was fantastic. Just looking at the ruckman, Grant's had 14 hit-outs, Johnson's had 13, Coe 7 and Elliott 5, so it's pretty well even.
Seeing some clever ruck work, actually. They're not just jumping up and punching it. They're trying to find their men, aren't they? As Murphy squirted it through to O'Leary. Milne tried to guide it forward. Kick hooked back. Kick hooked back.
Oh.
Touched on the line.
Hit the post.
Did it? Well, touched by the post on the line. I was looking at Matt Johnson to see his reaction. He was expecting it. As Milne dropped the mark. Wack gave the hand pass up. Ball knocked back into the contest. Trying to burrow through there. It was the ants. Eventually it came out the back to Fairley, who put it straight up the chimney. Crosby attacked the contest. At the back, Moran almost fell over. And collared by Tristan Wack was Seb Quirk, and he'll get the free kick. Swings around quickly onto the right boot. Drives it into the pocket. Mantis couldn't take the mark. And Reedy couldn't get away before the boundary line arrived.
We've got a free kick, I think.
There is a Bullants free kick, is it?
Yep.
Okay, deep in the back pocket. It's taken by Josh Hamilton, who went with the switch. And he got it to King. Good player, Matt King. Looks for the wing. Max Johnson the target. Max Williams dropped the mark. Murphy, lovely hand pass out the back to Barlow. Kick inside 50, waiting for it to bounce. There was Noah Gown. At the back, Johnson outside of the boot. Oh, yes! Wonderful kick from Johnson again. A second Smithies for him in the first half. And a little bit of breathing space back for Frankston.
That was a wonderful goal. He sort of kicked that play to himself, didn't he? There goes the explosion again. The old banana through the middle.
The old no left foot makes it look a little bit more spectacular, doesn't it?
And I believe at half-time we met his family, didn't we?
Quarter time, yes.
I beg your pardon. We met his mum and sister and their dog.
Yep, came to say hello.
Thank you very much. So they'll be extremely proud of him.
Yep.
Beaconsfield boy.
Third member of our commentary team here, sitting beside us, Vesta, loved the attention as well.
She liked her sausage too.
One down by Max Johnson. Off the ground, there goes Franks. Kicked a wonderful goal earlier on in this quarter. Voss, that was a throw. They get away with that all the time. Quirk gave it to Gray. He might get it back. It went the other way. Riley got it across to Voss, who ran on, sets up for home, doesn't have the legs at the back. Johnson in the goal square.
He's beaten two of them.
Well, the eyes lit up for Jackson Voss, who's only kicked two in his career. He didn't quite have the carry, but that just allowed us to have another Matty Johnson highlight. And he'll kick his third before half-time, and the Dolphins are out by 17.
Wow. Fantastic, isn't it? Good on him to beat the two of them. And he's not a big size, but what a great overhead mark.
He is a very good mark. Is Matt Johnson. Played one game for Casey a couple of years ago. Boy from Beaconsfield, 187 centimetres. Still only 23 is Matt Johnson. He's really made his mark here at Frankston. He's in his second year. This is game number 19 for the Dolphins. He's up to 36 goals, so nearly 2 goals a game. No, the big bags don't come that much anymore, so that's a really good return. Caleb Franks wins this contest, but only as far as Quirk, who's getting busy, getting down and dirty. Lockie Riley tumbles it towards the pocket. Charging out there was Harry Coe, dispossessed. Clearing kick came from Wallace. Mark dropped in the middle of the ground. This will give Frankston another chance. Milne gave it to Voss. Great tackle from Franks as he was going to ground. And he stops the escape there for Frankston.
So they're now 17 points up, Frankston.
Need a goal, the Bullants, just to get back into this one before half-time. Lockie Riley starting to make his presence felt. Bumped off the football on this occasion. Now camped over top of it. The umpire, well, one was circling. The other one had control, lucky for Riley. Grant won it down. Riley outside of the boot. Not 15. Diving into the contest there was Burke. He couldn't get clear. Trying to ferret his way out of there was Nunes. Danger signs with this clearing kick. Wack has to get it on the boot quickly, and he does. Tumbles it out towards half-back. Barlow stopped, cropped, and kicked it out on the full. And the amount of times that the ball goes out on the full here at this narrow Kinetic Stadium, even the home team does it.
Yep.
Not as much, granted. The boundary does curve around quickly. They are shallow pockets.
We've got a free kick downfield, I think, no?
No, what are they saying? It is going to be, it's a free kick coming back to Tane Barlow, and I'm not sure what for. Well, we'll remain confused at that one, because he was the one who kicked it out on the full. He pops it up into the pocket. Riley, Nunes, can he get in there? Reedy tried, couldn't quite. And eventually the Ants managed to rush it through for a behind.
Fairley's now had 19 disposals and 5 tackles.
As I said, 46 he had against North Melbourne in a losing cause in round 1, Paddy Fairley, and a couple of goals.
Wow.
He is a star in his second year since crossing from West Adelaide, cousin of Liam Mackey, of course.
Yep.
Long kick out towards half-back. Elliott attacks it, but has his mark knocked away from him. And a chance for Frankston to build again from half forward. Angus Grant and Max Johnson both holding. Grant won the tap. Franks tries to go through, has to lay the tackle and laid it beautifully. Doesn't get rewarded because there was no prior opportunity for Colby Naina. Grant won it again. Franks won it again. Tumbled it to half forward. He got caught by McKenzie. And I know another Rowan McKenzie. Not this one, however. Or an R McKenzie anyway. G'day, Robbie, if you're watching. I might have to nickname this young fella Roll On, because he can get a roll on.
Like it.
Roll On McKenzie. He'll have a chance here again. Strong tackle put on there. It's a terrific latch. The umpire says play on. There's a bit of how do you do going on here. A few ragdolls happening. The umpire wants none of it. He throws it straight up in the air. Johnson can't get it clear. And tempers might fray again. I reckon he'll pay a free kick here soon, just to break this up.
Yeah, nothing better than seeing a bit of a scrimmage like that. The umpire goes, if you want to keep going, go for it, but I'm balling it up.
Yep. And it stopped the wrestle pretty quick, didn't it? Straight through here. Wonderful work by Murphy. Kicks towards half forward. Let himself down with the kick, however, and Sam Hayes has been a tower of strength down back despite conceding those 3 goals. Puts it out towards the wing. That should be a free kick to the Bullants, and Roll On McKenzie will get it. Can we make that stick, you reckon?
I'd go for it. I like it.
Rowan McKenzie, the debutant. Long kick will skid away in the dewy grass and out of play in front of Crosby.
Interesting stat. Inside 50s, 28 to Frankston, 13 to the Bullants.
Yeah, it's being played sort of mostly in Frankston's half of the ground, but a lot of those entries haven't been deep. They've only been shallow entries. They've worked really hard down at half-back, Northern Bullants. Grant at the back, won the tap down. Wall is on top of this, lays the tackle.
All the other stats are pretty even, but this is an interesting one. Rebound 50s, 10 to Frankston, 23 for the Bullants.
Usually correlates with the inside 50s, and what that shows is that as much as Frankston are getting it in, the Ants are able to get it back out. As we see a boundary throw-in right in front of the hill and the Bullants bench. Geez, 29 minutes have ticked past already in this quarter. Where'd they go? Tells you we're having fun.
Yeah.
Woof, says the pod. Woof, go the Rucks. One down by Elliott. Trying to spin through is Owens. And he received a dumping tackle, said umpire Porter, much to the delight of that pod we just spoke about. He'll give the hand pass off. Voss brings the kick across to the broadcast side for Moran. He'll poke it out wide to Mill. Chips it back inboard, had to wait it beautifully. Barlow spent it before he had it. He's had some moments he'd want back in this first half, Tane Barlow. Voss has to come in and clean it up, and he's able to do that.
Fumbles?
I reckon it'd be right. If we went out onto the grass at halftime, we will see that this is the first due of the season, I reckon.
Yep. Oh.
Crunch. But he stood up in the tackle, did El Hawley on Minot. He got it out. Lucas Edmonds, high ball towards half forward. This is going to land and skid. Josh Smith and Jorgensen. Smith gets there first. Good work, McKenzie. got across there and knocked the footy out of play.
Geez, I'd like a goal here, the Bullants.
Get it back to 2 by half-time, if they can find one. Tick past the half-hour mark now. Jorgensen's going to go up on this occasion. Get to the front spot, and he'll put it into the corridor. Nice hand pass up. They can break Gray. There's a whistle behind play. Umpire says advantage. O'Leary has a couple of bounces. He had to slam it into the turf hard. Slipping over was McMillan. Dropping the mark was Johnson. Thought it was kicked out of his hands. Umpire didn't agree. Donegan, El Hawley threw it. Umpire doesn't pay it. The umpires don't pay those ones. They allow that over the head flick every single time, Elvo.
It was right in front of us too.
And none of them are handballs, I reckon. Maybe I'll give you 10% at most. And that's at AFL level 2, mind you. Grant with the tap. Fairly went through his legs. Mine it with strength. Ferreted it through. Is there time for Murphy? Fires it towards the pocket. Hayes gets across there.
Fantastic.
Did well. Couldn't quite take the mark on the dive, but managed to nullify the attack.
He's a real fortress down there, Hayes.
He's having a wonderful first half, isn't he? He's actually on Noah Gown, who has got 2 behind. So I think I said he conceded 3 goals, but he's not playing on Johnson, so they're not on him. As we see Reedy hook it back. Oh, that would have hurt. Through for a behind.
It was always hooking back, but
He was a little bit too close, wasn't he?
yeah.
Couldn't get the bend quite quickly enough. As Hayes pops it into the back pocket. Fairly. Into the 20s now, I'd reckon, wouldn't he be? He'd have to be. On track for another 40-plus game, Paddy Fairley. Brings it up to the wing. Flying too early was Angus Grant in giving away a free kick. Will Elliott to take it. Draws the man and gives the hand pass off to Velasaris, who goes to El Hawley. Back to Velasaris, and the siren beats what looked like a promising foray for the Northern Bullants. And it's half-time. A fair dinkum red-hot crack at this. And we're just about to get underway. Elvo will give you the numbers shortly. But Matt Marnie will slam the ball into the turf and get us underway with Grant winning the first tap. Fairley has racked them up in the first half. Wack got it across to Velasaris, who's done the same. Sends it towards half forward. Voss is wrapped up by Goodman. I like the cut of his jib, Mason Goodman. He looks likely tight. And it'll be a ball up.
Fairly, 20 disposals, 5 tackles. Velasaris, 19 disposals, 2 tackles.
One by Johnson. Fairly make it 21. No, he dropped it cold. It was a drop kick, which you can't do when you're being tackled. Not anymore anyway, not for about the last 40 years. As Connor Riley takes the free kick in game number 49. He turns it over. Maybe lost his head there, Will Wallace, but the umpire didn't see the connection if there was any. O'Leary, well, he tried to run through the ant nest and he went nowhere.
Murphy had a great second quarter for Frankston. He's had 18 disposals, 2 tackles. El Hawley, 18 disposals, 3 tackles. And Hayes in the back line has been fantastic for the Bullants, 14 and 2.
Taken by Naina off the contest, sends it in towards full forward. At the back, here's a chance for Johnson again. He's already kicked a wonderful one from here. Gave it back. Kick out of the pack from Burke. Narrow. Through for a behind.
Goes all right, Johnson. He was right into that.
He's a good player. Good player, Matt Johnson. A very nice recruit coming over from Casey with Josh Smith at the start of last year. El Hawley's kick is knocked away from Franks. Big tackle. Was it fair? Umpire blew the whistle and said it wasn't. The non-officiating umpire again, Luke Porter, comes in and says that's a dangerous tackle. And it's going to be Nick Burke who will take the shot at goal. A recruit from Port Melbourne. Made his debut for Geelong a few years ago. He is a Geelong boy. 19 games for the Borough. Now at his third club. From 41 metres out, the kick looks pretty good. It's just to the wrong side of the post. And he's got a couple of behinds quickly, Nick Burke.
Just looking at the ruck stats, all the players in the ruck really haven't done much around the ground, but hit outs are Grant 24, Johnson 18.
And once again, Frankston are kicking very poorly at goal. 5-11. Hayes brings it out.
Oh,
back. Wow. Grant, you just said he wasn't doing much around the ground.
He's only had 2 disposals.
Fires it up in towards full forward. Johnson, Gown, couldn't take the mark. Ground level ball fairly. Fired the hand pass out. Stolen. Hooked back. Nunes finds Gown in the square. And Noah is on the board.
Interesting. I'm wondering if Nunes did actually see Gown.
Oh, I think he was going for
or
goal.
Or was he having a snap? But he's going to say it was a pass.
Yeah, it'll look like a pass.
I'll just quickly talk about the ruckman, and they haven't done much around the ground. So Grant's had 3 disposals now, 1 mark, 2 tackles. There we go.
I don't know exactly what that is.
Johnson has had 3 disposals, 2 tackles, and 18 hit-outs. Coe's had 1 disposal, 7 hit-outs, and Elliott's had 6 disposals and 6 hit-outs. So all the big men really haven't done much tonight.
Elliott is more a key forward, and he's down at full forward now with Tame Barlow for company. But at 202 centimetres, he obviously has to go and provide a chop out for Max Johnson in the ruck, who's 196. He's the first big guy. Brandon Ryan had to do a bit of the same thing last year. As we see, they're taken off half back here by Fairley for another disposal. Kicks out to open spaces. Naina has got 3 of them on his hammer, and he's happy to run it over the line. That
little explosion sounds like, remember the old Big M cartons? You used to stomp on them,
yep.
and they used to, that's what it sounds like.
Or a packet of Smithies.
Yes.
When chips were called Smithies. Now we've got the wonderful sponsors product called Smithies.
And it's a great beer.
Oh, my word, it is. Now just running it straight over the line here is Josh Cooper. He's done some nice things. The Lions Academy product. That's the advantages too. Remember the academies, people, there might be some top-end talent making it into the AFL, but 600 kids go through those academies every year.
Unbelievable.
And they filter back right through footy at all levels. Is that a high tackle? Well, it's 2 high tackles. The second one's going to be a 50-metre penalty, and it's going to create an issue for Paddy Fairley.
Oh, we're on here.
The Dolphins have come from everywhere. Slung him to the ground by the neck. Jorgensen puts the headlock on, just trying to break it up with Colby Naina. There's still a bit going on behind that contest. Jorgensen's got a couple to deal with, and he's dealing with them pretty comfortably. Meanwhile, the 50-metre penalty has been paid. Where's the football? There it is. It's Jackson Voss. Is it? No, it's Trent Minott. It's Trent Minott, and, well, you'd back him.
Well, they're still going on in the middle here.
The crowd will get involved. You watch the players get involved if the skipper drills this. Bingo! That could be a dead set big moment in this game. Trent Minott slams it home for his first. The Dolphins are out now by, is 33 points now, would you believe?
Yeah, Jorgensen wanted to keep going there with that. I don't know what was going on. But he's heading back down to the forward line. But again, look, you know what? They were just talking about at half-time what's better, oranges or apples.
Yeah. What do you reckon the verdict is? I'm an apple man all the way.
I always thought oranges were better at three-quarter time.
Orange juice. Orange juice.
Orange juice, okay.
Orange juice wins.
Yep.
Apple as the fruit wins.
Yep, okay.
For me. Correspondence can be entered into on X if you like. Tell us why you like one or the other. But we digress because Grant wins the tap to restart play, and then he'll get his own footy back. Stood up in the tackle, gave it off to Reedy, to Owens. They're away here. Gray shrugs one tackle, kicks to full forward. Gown made the spoil in the end, couldn't take the mark. King at the back, hooks it short. Had to be accurate and was to McMillan. They get another one quickly, Frankston. The floodgates could open. They've already kicked 2 this quarter. Hayes back to King. 2-0 in quick succession for Frankston. Clearing kick from Matt King. Up towards the wing. Thought it was Jorgensen's hands, but it's Grant who's taken another clunk. He heard your elbow.
He did. I gave him a rev up.
Angus Grant pops it up to the leading players, and the only lead came from Will Wallace. And he takes the mark. All he needs is the blue face paint, doesn't he, Elvo?
He does. It's a great name.
Floats the kick out towards the wing. El Hawley. Courage. Takes the mark. Spearing kick. Spot on. Goodman. Wants them to run for him. They have to spear back. The kick towards half forward. Put down by Crosby. He got hurdled. It put them both down. A little bit of leapfrog. Play on was the call. Fairly. Tumbles it inside 50. Milne stands tall and takes the mark. So Tyson Milne brings it out to Quirk. How many for Seb Quirk? He gets a lot of his disposals underneath the packs. That was an easier one. The mark was spoiled to Barlow. Franks with a turnover, and Wol takes the mark inside 50. Love the names this year. Wol. We got Tom Tomer at Essendon, who's had a wonderful start to the season. The young man from Strathfield Say.
He's a Berwick boy.
Yes, played 1 game for the Casey Demons in 2022. Playing his 3rd for the Northern Bullants. Wol. Let's see what he's got. He does the shuffle. He gives it a ride from 50, just the wrong side of the post. Good effort, but no result. His first score as an Ant. First score of the quarter for the boys in red. Milne from the back pocket runs his full measure. Long switch across to the grandstand side. Well, the crowd side, the hillside. Barlow has it from O'Leary, and he'll bring it back to the grandstand side. Gray, lovely kick. Will find Murphy right in front of us. Inboard to Milne, who's run on well. Sizes it up, chips to the pocket. Beautiful pass to Gown.
Well, he's missed a couple tonight, hasn't he?
Yep, 1 goal, 2. But once again, the Dolphins, the green shoots when they break and run, has been very impressive.
You think if he kicks this, the floodgate's starting to open?
Well, this will take them out beyond 6 goals, and it doesn't feel like a 6-goal game.
No.
There's Noah Gown. Well, he hooks it again. And he scratches his head.
He was off balance when he kicked that.
He poked at it a bit too. 1 goal, 3 for he. 7-12 for the Dolphins. Fairly marks the kick in. Pops it short to Donegan. He will miss the target. Grant, or Coe it was, dragged off the ball by Wall. Umpire will have to sort this out.
A few Bullants supporters here, which is great.
Yep, they made the trip down from Jenna Steele Oval. Good pick up at the bootlaces by Elliott, but he's unable to get it away because Minot steals the loose footy, kicks inside 50. Nice mark, Hayes. He's had a good night. He brings it out to El Hawley, who's had a terrific night. Pops it over the top to Velasaris, the same. Best 3 Ants on the ground in competition there, along with Fairley. He might get the next one. Velasaris decides to go longer and look for Elliott. Jorgensen pinched it in the front. Now Fairley gets his hands on the football. El Hawley, Fairley. The big name Bullants are in play. Sends it to half forward. Barlow, well, put it down under pressure there from Goodman. Crosby shrugged the tackle, gave it off. Donegan, Voss dropped it in the tackle. Was knocked out, in fact. The umpire said no prior, throw it in.
White's up there. The Bullants really need a goal.
And all their best players were involved in that passage of play. Lion-hearted effort from the Ants. One down by Coe. Milne charges out of defence, puts it into the middle of the ground. Harry Jones has a couple to beat it, gets over the back. Can Gown get there? He can't. El Hawley's back. Gave it off to, that was Hamilton, who brought it back inboard calmly to Jacobs. Chips it across to Velisaris. You go out wide to Goodman. Well, in fact, that was the pink boots there of Cooper. And now Velisaris got it back, sent it into the pocket. Crosby had a juggle, couldn't hold on. And Gray helps him over the line.
You'd probably need someone to do something special here for the Bullants. White's in their forward 50.
Smelling a Smithy snag. Is it brewing? We've seen 3 contenders already tonight. Nice tap by Coe. Well done, Gray. Up towards the wing, front spot, nice mark. That's taken by Jacobs. He's bobbed up at times and he steps around Noah Gown nicely. Wrong-footed his teammate as well. Not the best of kicks. It should be picked off easily. Harry Coe dropped the mark. That gives the Ants a chance. Smothered was Jorgensen's kick. Now they'll break. Quirk fires it up towards the wing. Put down by Wallace. McMillan gave the hand pass to Jacobs. Knocked away from him. Taken again by Wallace. High ball in towards the middle of the ground. Flew, did Owens. Decided to go with the fist. Hamilton received from Velisaris. Run to 55. Sent the kick in towards the pocket. Jorgensen and Smith. Boundary line wins.
He had a couple of players sort of more central there. He probably should have kicked it to them.
He's the sort of target that draws the ball, though, John Jorgensen.
Yeah.
And he's having a bit to say to Josh Smith once again. Don't do anything silly. You can't afford to lose another key player. Coe took it out of the ruck and handballed it to no one. It was stolen and booted clear by Voss up towards the middle of the ground. Shrugging the tackle with strength there was Burke. It's gone back inside, though. Chance for the Bullants. It's in the hands of Franks. Has already kicked a marvellous goal. This one hooks back too far in towards the pocket. Knocked to ground by Jacobs. And he gets thrown over the line. In fact, that's Crosby. Ragdolled over the boundary line, and the man in green will sort it out. Can they find a goal? They're having a good passage of play here, the Bullants. The last 5 or 6 minutes, it's been camped down their end of the ground. Coe won it down. Was that a push in the back? Umpire said no on Velisaris. It's Matt Johnson who's come all the way down the ground to get involved in that contest. Coe took it out of the ruck. His kick was smothered. Quirk had his face slapped. And that hurt. Centering ball, dangerous. Wall should pick this off. It's over the head. Taken here by McKenzie. Chips in nicely. Crunch.
And 50.
That's 50. It's got to be 50. Jorgensen took the mark and got poleaxed by Smith. And yes, without a doubt. That was very crude by Josh Smith, and he's the one that lost his head when Jorgensen kept his.
He could be in a bit of strife.
Well, that similar sort of action put Liam Mackey in trouble last week. I'm sorry if you're watching, Liam. But a goal to Johnny Jorgensen. And that is just what the doctor ordered and just what the Bullants deserved.
Well, Jorgensen's been in a couple of scrimmages, and I think a couple of players might have gone here. We're going to get you now.
That one wasn't quite as graphic as the one last week, but it was certainly the similar sort of charge.
Yeah. It would have hurt too.
Oh, yeah.
He got up straight away, but
nearly broke him in half. And he's not a heavy set man, is he, John Jorgensen, for his height? Said he certainly was last year at Essendon.
Yeah.
Tough unit. He's rewarded with a goal. He's been good tonight. Marching back to 27. Can they use that to spark something? I will say I was surprised at the length of that suspension too last week, as Fairley wins it out of the contest. Towards the wing it goes, and Jackson Voss takes a wonderful mark in front of Cooper. Very enjoyable game of footy, this one, as they all are at Smithy's VFL level. Georgie Gray. O'Leary wants it short. Gray's ignoring that. He's saying that's too short. He's going to set it up for the big men to fly. Johnson's the target. Got out the back. He ran onto it. Put it on the left boot. Put it too far across the face. Almost kept in, actually, back there by Noah Gown, but not quite. Johnson with a behind.
Fairley's now had 28 disposals, 5 tackles.
Outstanding footballer. Oh, Sam Hayes left it behind. He has to go back and get it. He does so. Fed the hand pass out. Minot shrugs the tackle. Goal! You can't make a blue like that and not expect to pay for it. And Trent Minot kicks his second goal of the quarter, and that hurts.
Yeah, he made the error, didn't he? But he went back in.
He went back and had another crack, and he did well. He did well to get it back. But in the end, just the first mistake just allowed Frankston to swarm, didn't they?
Yeah, and as we said earlier, we've seen a few fumbles tonight. We reckon there's a bit of dew around.
Yeah, they are backing themselves, though, the Bullants.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to take time. They're learning. They're learning on the job.
Oh, I like what I've seen.
Yeah. No, they are developing nicely. There are green shoots there.
And
but as I said, every little mistake at this level gets hurt.
And sometimes, when you're a team that's not winning many games, you can go to defensive, but they haven't. They take on the game.
Yep, which is what we want to see. And the fans will enjoy watching them have a crack, as Johnson's kick is marked by O'Leary on the wing. Goes to half forward. Quirk off to Murphy. Gave it through to Reedy. Burke, was he caught high? Umpire said play on. And pass 5 back in by Wack. Turnover time. Here they go again. The kick from Mantis up to half forward. Jorgensen had a couple to beat. He brought it to Moran. Now it's with Williams. He had it taken off him. McKenzie tried to swoop through. Velasaris step back onto the right. Tumbled the kick towards goal. How will it bounce? Oh, touched on the line. Barlow got back there. It was so close.
Well done by Barlow, though.
He had to really put in, didn't he? Tane Barlow, he's had his moments tonight. That was a good one. Up to the wing it goes. Riley had it knocked away from him. Lockie, Naina fed it to Williams. Max Williams sends it to half forward, looking for Nunes.
Ooh.
Terrific mark, and he slides into the fence. It's been quiet tonight, Jack, playing exclusively forward pocket. His short pass finds Burke. Pops it into towards the goal square, over the head of Gown. Trying to get through Johnson. Now O'Leary, shrugged one, couldn't shrug the second. You are gone.
Yep. Tried to do too much.
Yep. The eyes lit up close to goal, didn't they? Oh, is that 50? Benefit of the doubt. Stood up and put the ball on the ground. McMillan with the free kick. Goes short to Velasaris. JL gives it to Edmonds. A bit quieter tonight after doing some nice things against the Cats last week, Lucas Edmonds. On debut he was. High ball. Big fly. Grant was pushed out, but he still managed to get both hands to the football on recovery. Roland McKenzie tumbles it to half forward. Here's a chance now for Barlow. Stood up in the tackle nicely. Milne switches on. Not the best of kicks from Milne. Naina has to go back for it. He's able to do so. Lovely ball into the middle of the ground. Minot sweeps it to the man running past. That was Voss towards 50. Nice work. Maxie Williams. Don't see him forward often. Sent it down towards the goal square. Over the back, Manton. O'Leary. Oh, he couldn't get a boot to the footy.
I thought there could have been a push out there to Bullants.
One behind to Blake O'Leary. Ants fans still behind their team. Jacobs goes back to the goal square. Ethan Mantis. Dangerous kick. Hayes is able to take the mark. He'd be up to, 12 or 13 of those, I reckon. High ball towards the wing. Crosby set himself. Grant put it down. Voss. Max Johnson. Fairley. Out wide to Edmonds. Sized it up and went high to nobody. Max will mark. Williams at half-back. Switch on again for the Dolphins. Naina to Milne. Got the shepherd from Naina as he followed up. Kicks to half forward. Nice mark, Johnson. Matt Johnson for Frankston. Swings onto the right boot. Thumps it down towards full forward. Hayes put a fist into the ball. Jacobs got it. Gave it to Mandis. Put it into the path out there of Hamilton, and he slipped over at the crucial stage and the ball went out of play.
Hayes, 19 disposals, and you're right, 9 marks.
Thought he would have had a couple more than that by now. But he's been very, very good in the last line of defence. He wins a tap here as well. And he'll have a chance to go for another one. That's Max Johnson, who's managed to get down there, the ruckman. And he'll battle and win again. He'll take it out of the ruck this time. High ball. Arriving was Edmonds. Taken by O'Leary. Goes high. Who wants this one? Hayes with the fist. Brought it to ground. McMillan overran the football. Minot stood up in the tackle. Burke hooked it back on goal. And helped over the line by Williams.
Yeah, good defence. Someone letting us know there about Nunes.
And that's a terrible kick back in by Hayes. Colby Naina marks at 51. He's pointed towards the goals, but I think you're keeping your eye out here for the set play.
Oh, I'm hearing you.
Bullants fans say $20 for a torp. I don't think he's going to listen to that. He's going to give the hand pass off to Murphy. It was well read. Oh. It was very well read by the Bullants. Yeah. And out of bounds on the full. Yeah. They knew exactly what was going on, didn't they?
Yeah, well done.
Will Wallace. High ball. Big flies to come. Was thumped over the line by Cooper. Well, throw in to come. Half forward for Frankston as we head towards three-quarter time. One down to Reedy. Taken by Minot. Got a shove as he kicked the footy, and that's paid.
Yeah.
The Bullants crowd haven't quite realised yet that Trent Minot will take a shot for goal from 45 metres out.
Frankston have kicked 3-6 this quarter.
8:15 on the board.
And you were saying earlier how they've...
Well, they came into the game with 21-29 for the season, so that's now 29-44. And that is going to end up costing you games and has done in the past. They're going to get away with it tonight.
Yep.
Trent Minot has decided to channel his inner Ben Brown, but I don't think he's not going to be able to take this kick here. He might have done something. He's done a hamstring. I reckon he's done a hamstring when he was pushed.
Yeah, and the way he's walking.
So this is a big blow for Frankston. He tried to walk it off. Hopefully it's just a cramp. But he's certainly favouring the left hamstring. He's put the ball down and heading straight to the bench. it was that sort of action when he was pushed as he kicked the ball, wasn't it? So that is a worry for Frankston as Colby Naina receives the kick and he backs up his skipper. Well done, Colby Naina.
He'll take the credit. No, well done. And that what's that now? 42 points. That makes it really, really hard for the Bullants.
Yeah, the game's gone. They've got to fight. They've got to fight it out well, and we know they will.
We know. And
even last week against Geelong, when they didn't score in the last quarter, they fought the game out hard. And I think they only allowed the Cats to kick, 3-6 or something like that, when they were absolutely dominant.
And in that situation, you hope maybe in the last quarter they can outscore their opponents and get something out of the game.
That will be the goal. But Trent Minot is the story now. As he has just gone and sat down in the back row of the bench, holding his left hamstring. So I don't think that's a cramp, Elvo.
No.
Back in the centre here. Good tackle put on by Murphy. Umpire says my ball.
Just having a look at next week's game. So Northern Bullants have Sandringham at Trevor Parker Beach Oval.
That'll be a challenge as well. The Zebras hard to beat at home. As Moran takes it at half-back, gave it to Milne. Through the middle of the ground he goes. Sets it up towards full forward. Floating in from the side, but unable to take the mark there was Jones. Ground level footy, who wants it the most? It's going to pinball around the base of this pack. Hayes is the man on the footy. Bailey Tome in there as well. It'll be tossed up.
And Frankston are back here next Friday night against Coburg.
Well, they could be, they'll be aiming for 3-1.
Ooh.
But you wouldn't rule Coburg out. I'm not ruling them out against Collingwood either on Sunday. As we see it taken out of the contest by Lockie Riley. He sprays it across the face and out on the full. Coburg haven't won since round 19, 2022. So close against Williamstown in their last game on Good Friday. As a strong mark is taken here in the front of the contest by Jorgensen. Who else would that be?
A long way down the ground.
Yep. He's to go a fair way up to get the footy. It's definitely been Frankston's quarter. Velasaris had a good period through the middle of it, the Bullants, but they're only able to get the one goal on the board. JL goes to the wing. Mark put down. Coe fed it over the top to Quirk. He drew the man. Nice hand pass. Quirk got it back from Connor Riley. To half forward he goes on the lead. Gown, was he held? Whack, dispossessed. Brought down in the tackle. No prior for Lockie Reedy.
Fairly 30 disposals, 5 tackles.
Fairly good night. Fairly lame joke. Quick kick out of the pack came from Cooper. Milne pokes it towards half forward. Noons is there. Jones is there. It'll sweep towards the line. They keep it in here. El Hawley backs himself. Like to see that. Gave it off there to a teammate who booted it clear. Goodman took the mark from the Cooper kick, and it is three-quarter time. Hamstring on the back row of the bench, so that's not a good postscript to this game as Max Wallace lays a strong tackle. It turned into a chicken wing almost. Velasaris got a clearing kick out towards half forward. Barlow kept the ball in front of himself. O'Leary's there as well. He went off the ground and kicked it out on the full.
Just have a quick look at some disposal getters. Fairly 30 disposals, 5 tackles. Velasaris 30 and 2.
Hope the Bullants will fight this game right out because they do not deserve to be pushed aside. They were well beaten last week, which was more than they deserved. Here's a chance for McKenzie on debut. He got dealt with. Umpire said play on. And then dealt with was Bailey Tome, and this one was paid, and it was too high.
El Hawley 26 and 3, Milne 21 and 3, Murphy 21 and 5.
Bailey Tome from the 50 sends it on its way and hooks it badly. Through for a free kick. It's out of bounds on the full.
It'd be very hard to find a best on ground tonight.
You nearly say that the better players have been Bullants.
Yeah.
Certainly the more prolific ones. Tyson Milne sends a long high kick towards half-back. Ball goes to ground. Stepping around one is Reedy. Hooks it up towards the wing. Gown went back with the flight of the ball, and Sam Hayes spiked it. He's another one who's had a wonderful night.
He has. Hayes has had 21, 9 marks and 2 tackles.
And probably about 8 or 9 spoils as well, I reckon. Which you won't see on the app, unfortunately. We'll have to check champion data later for that one. Hand pass can't come out of there for Seb Quirk. Velasaris knocked off the footy, but he went back and got it again. Hard ball get. Flicked it up. And now there's a whistle on play. And you know by the groans of the pod which way it's going. It's Bailey Tome. Puts it to half forward. Brilliant kick. Bounced off the chest of Elliott. He went back and got it. Knocked away from Franks. There's still a chance here, the Bullants. Arriving in one direction was Goodman. Then he's knocked off the football. Quirk gets another contested possession, but he hands it up, and that's got to be a free kick. Yep. Gray, a little bit frustrated. I don't know why he held on. The free kick goes to Hamilton, who is in two minds about what to do, and in the end has to rush his kick. Elliott has it knocked away from him. It'll fall to the front of the pack. Goodman dragged down by Smith. Good tackle. Umpire will sort it out.
Well, they've done some hard work to get the ball up here, Bullants, so good credit for them when they get a goal.
Oh, you reckon that disco across the road's been pumping all night, hasn't it?
Lights keep changing too.
Draws the attention. But we're back on the football now as El Hawley is brought down in a double tackle. Trying to get himself a much-deserved goal. Grant dumps it out wide. O'Leary puts it on the boot, tumbles a kick towards half-back. Strong tackle put on by Jacobs. Brought Burke to ground.
If you were going to give a best on ground, who would you give here, Georgie? I'll put you under the pump here.
Question under notice for that one, I reckon. It's going to be a throw in. Getting to the front spot, Grant. At the back, King. Nicely done. Trying to get through there, Naina received it from Burke. Now they can work their way to half forward. Jones, Reedy, chips into the pocket. Lovely vision. Johnson. He'd be in contention too, especially if he bangs this home. Not quite. 3 goals, 3 for Matt Johnson. Could have been a big night.
Could have been.
Sam Hayes, boy from Cheltenham. Did train with Frankston at one stage before ending up at the Bullants. This is with Jorgensen. He'll send it to centre half forward. And it'll be picked off comfortably by Barlow. Out to Harrison Jones. He's going to get run down if he's not careful. He managed to blind turn out of the tackle from Hamilton. Kicks to half forward. Nunes does the roving but fumbled it. That's all it took. Strong tackle on McMillan. Umpire says my ball. Scanning through. Seb Quirk has been terrific.
Yep.
Underneath the packs. May not have the numbers of some of the others. As Hamilton breaks away. Gave the hand pass off Velasaris. Wall. Got it back to Jacobs. Liked what he's done too. Into the middle of the ground it goes. Milne sweeping around. He's been everywhere for Frankston. Lovely kick to Naina. Sends it to half forward. Thumped away to ground by McMillan. Or by Mantis, in fact, and it's out of play.
Fairley's now up to 33.
So Tyson Milne's very close to Frankston's best as well.
Yeah, he's had 23.
And his distribution has been spot on out of defence. Working through here is Hamilton, dragged down by Nunes, who's been quiet since that early goal. Bringing it out of there was Cooper, brought it up towards the wing. Goodman under pressure from Gray. Lockie Riley gave it up to Williams, thumped it in towards full forward. No mark able to be taken, and sweeping out of there, Velasaris thumps it up towards the middle of the ground. Trapped it with his feet, did Barlow, went back and got it, gave it to Milne again. Gave it to Gray under pressure, stood up in the tackle, got dispossessed. Umpire said play on. Velasaris won a hard ball again. High kick, great mark by Voss. And Jorgensen and Smith have words once again.
They'll have a Smithies together after the game.
Yeah, they're just trying to work out who's got to buy the first one. Smith dropped a sitter in front of his eyes. Had time to recover and give it to Barlow. He'll play on and run around out towards the flank. Not the best. Reedy. Desperation from the Bullants player. Charging in there was Caleb Franks. He's done some nice things as well.
He has.
They have got plenty to work with, the Bullants and Rowan Welsh.
And, of course, a couple of very good players that are unavailable tonight.
Yeah. Liam Mackey, top of that list. Meliodas missing also. He's important to this team's structure. Another ball up to result.
Velasaris now up to 35 disposals.
Yeah, I think if I gave 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1, I'm finding it pretty hard to go any less than 3 Bullants. As a holding the ball decision goes in front of Lockie Riley, who will set it up. Who wants this one? Big fly, big fist from Mantis. He's done a lot of that tonight. Round the corner, there goes Tome. Brought it back towards the wing. Jorgensen's tried hard. Him and Smith came together once again. Elliott's waited at the back here. Picks it up eventually below the knees. It's a long way down, and he's gone. Oh. Great tackle. Georgie Gray said, good effort, big fella, but I got you. And he kicks it inboard with a shocker, and he turns it over. He might get a pat on the back again as a clever kick from Goodman around the corner to El Hawley. Great footy, Ants.
Really good kick, that one.
He had every right to go for goal there, Mason Goodman. He saw Sard El Hawley around the corner and thought, you deserve a chance to kick a goal.
Yep. Terrible turnover from Frankston.
Yeah, don't give your mate your opposite number a pat on the back before you've actually used the footy.
You did too, didn't he? There?
He did. He deserved to get one back. Sard El Hawley. Can he cap a brilliant night? Oh, no.
Missed it.
No. Probably kicked it too hard, I think. In the end.
They deserved that, the Bullants.
The Pod don't think so. Long kick out towards the wing. Up before acceptance as almost was Tymo Owens. He's done that a couple times. Then he can't pick the ball up at his bootlaces. He has to lay the tackle. He does that well on Bailey Tome. And it's a ball up. So half forward for Frankston. 25 scores to 9. The margin is 41 points. It's a familiar sight. A lopsided scorecard. Goals and behinds the wrong way for Frankston. Now, this has hit a boot.
Called it.
Yep. And the shoulders slump a little bit on Bailey Tome when he realised he'd been caught and how unlucky that was.
Again.
Terrible kick in from Reedy. Gray. Reedy wrapped up, slapped it back towards the line. Lucky there was Voss. Gray gave it back to Voss. They're going to get out of this. Are they? Whoa. Couldn't quite get there. Watch what's going on behind the play still. As Smith took the mark. It was Gray and Elliott, the two number 6s, having words again. Another pat on the back maybe. And Smith sends it out towards half-back. Tap down Crosby, whack through his hands, Davies over the line. 9-16 for Frankston. Bullants 4-5. 4 rushed behinds I've got on the list, but the rest of them, I think they probably should have kicked maybe half a dozen more with the opportunities they've had. As Connor Riley sweeps through, plays his 50th game next Friday night against Coburg. Gathered here by Owens. He sends it to half forward. Charging out there was Gown. Doing the roving is Johnson. No left foot. That created a problem. He gave the hand pass off to Murphy, and O'Leary slams it into the post front on.
From this angle, I'd actually thought he kicked that.
Until it came back at you.
Yeah, it came back.
2 behinds for O'Leary, and another missed opportunity for Frankston. As Hayes marks just inside the boundary. Poor kick. Gave Hamilton some work to do. Hayes butted back up and got some support in. Here goes Hamilton again. Has a bounce through the middle of the ground. Steps around Williams and then handballed it to a man who's lying on the ground in Fairley. He was up to the task. Sent it inside 50. Jorgensen tumbled the kick. Wrong side of the post.
Right idea.
Yeah, had to move it quickly. He had 3 men on him. 1-1 for Jorgensen. I reckon they've turned the music up across the road.
And the lights have changed to blue now.
As the mark is taken by Smith at halfback. Short to Moran. So Frankston heading to 2-1 after round 4. They'll be in the top 10 tonight, you would think. In fact, they definitely will be in the top 10 tonight. Whether they stay there depends on other results.
There's 41 points of difference, but you'd think, if Frankston had kicked straight, it could have been a lot worse.
41 feels about right for a margin, but Frankston will feel that they've let a real percentage booster get away. Undermanned Bullants team has given them everything they can handle. Pod still getting involved. One down by Coe. Is that an almost game? Fairly beaten for it. Riley received from Murphy. Naina. Lockie Riley. Now the kick from Johnson into full forward. Gown crashes the pack. Arriving Hamilton. Gave the hand pass to Wack. Might get it back. Cooper, in fact, goes across the face of goal. Good vision. Hayes to King to the wing. It's going to come back. Williams spent it before he had it, but he had support in Gray. He can size it up. Keep an eye on that behind the play and tell us in a minute. As Nunes is caught, and that should be holding the ball. It isn't holding the ball, and it'll be a ball up.
So we had Crosby and Nunes. Sorry, not Nunes. Max Williams have a little squabble in front of us, and they both got up and scruffled each other's hair. I love it.
Bit of fun. Bit of WWE action, you reckon?
Yeah.
As we see Quirk go inside 50. Johnson almost. Family wanted the mark. They didn't get it. Burke shrugged out of a tackle, hooked it back. How will this go? Oh, back into that post again.
Oh, my goodness.
So close to a marvellous goal from Nick Burke. But it's another point. And that's his 3rd of the second half. This is going close to the line. Waiting at the back, and it lands in the lap of Goodman. Pops it up down the line looking for Jorgensen. Just inside. Takes the mark. Sets it to half forward, and he'll give it straight to Josh Smith, and he won't like that. Naina has to track this. Mantis tracks him. Naina went for the body contact, then went back and got the football. Murphy came to provide the support. And they got it short there to Jones. Late inclusion, Harrison Jones on debut. He's done okay. Moran across to Milne. And I reckon he's getting the 5, Tyson Milne. Promptly kicks it out on the full. Dropping back to 4.
So we've had 16 minutes gone in this quarter and we'll get to see a goal.
Plenty of points, 3-2. Wobbly kick from Crosby to half forward. Who wants this at the back? Picked up by Milne. Hand pass off to Quirk. He's gone. Did he get rid of it? He did. Hamilton. The seas parted and then they closed again. Edmonds flicked it up. Over the head it goes for Franks. Shot at goal came towards the square. Off hands it goes again. Tapped over the head by Lockie Riley. Fairley steals it on the left. Bends it too soon.
Great effort from Fairley. Jeez.
Kicked a brilliant goal last week, Paddy Fairley. Reckon it should have ranked higher than 4th in the Smithy Snags. He's got to go and do it again. There is a Smithy Snag of the Year too, Elvo, this year.
Oh, I heard about that.
Sure, it's something that they would love to get their hands on as the kick-out's a shocker. Hamilton marks it at 52. He'll set it up towards full forward and it'll be picked off. Smith used the body well, just worked Jorgensen under the footy. Took the mark comfortably. Popped it into the back pocket. It'll be driven out of there by O'Leary. Slipping at the crucial stage, there was Jones. And that allowed the stalemate.
Yeah, must be really dewy out there now. We've just seen a couple of players just literally slip over their own feet.
Yeah. They're bringing out the long stops, I reckon, by next Friday night. I'm sure Jamie Cassidy McNamara will be watching, interested in how this has unfolded. Although already preparing for his own game this weekend, but planning for next week too. As we see, caught with the ball is Cooper, but he didn't have prior opportunity. Ball up on the wing. 9 goals, 18. Don't want to harp on it too much, do you? But no. You just have to, because it is a common problem for Frankston. Whack lays the tackle. Taken by Jones. Around the corner he goes. Inside 50. Gown attacks the ball hard. Swings around onto the right. Centering kick is good. Was knocked away from Owens, but he is able to recover. Oh, lovely. Absolutely spectacular by Tomo Owens.
He took on 2 of them. It wasn't a bad kick to him. He got it to ground, kept it in front of him. Okay.
Tomo Owens, he sold the dummy, or he offered it up for sale, and two of them went into an auction to buy it. And he just stepped back inside and kicked a brilliant goal. Yeah,
well, some of the crowd in front of us would tell us what they thought about it. But, good on him. Great goal.
And was class. He's come into the team here wanting to play with his brother Kai, and Kai decided to head down to Mornington. You'd love to see him back next year after that refresher and see the two of them going at it together for Frankston. Margin is 47 points now. We're going to hear Frankston's song for the first time on the broadcast in a while. Good win over Port Melbourne a couple of weeks ago, and now they're going to be 2 in a row. Murphy gave it to Gray. Drives it long to full forward. Oh, yeah! He's been threatening to do that all night, Harrison Coe. And he plucks a beauty. Can he go back and reward himself, the debutant? The boy from Beaconsfield. One of quite a few playing in the VFL. It's a fair old nursery, Beaconsfield. the Eagles.
Yep.
Harrison Coe. 117 goals in the VFL Division 3 in 2019 for St Francis Xavier. That is why. That is why! Harrison Coe kicks his first goal in VFL footy. Add it to the list tonight, and they all get over to him. A wonderful contested mark, a wonderful finish, and we're out beyond 50.
A couple of young Dolphin supporters down here, mate. They're loving it. You're right. Some very good players have come out of Beaconsfield over the years.
I wonder Richmond don't play there anymore. I enjoyed going there those couple of times.
Great ground.
Never forget the 6 goals that Tyson Stengel kicked for the Tigers against Sandringham there a few years ago. He played in the same team, Shea Bolton and Dan Rioli, and to me, Stengel looked like the best one of the lot.
He did, and I think that same game, I think Shea Bolton had about 40 possessions.
Something like that, and 4 goals,
yeah.
I reckon. And Stengel kicked 6. As we see Quirk, who's been magnificent. Don't underestimate what he's done. Edmonds wrapped up, and he might be gone, he is. Moving quickly is Voss. Now they're looking to make hay, the Dolphins. Falls out to Reedy. Goes towards full forward. Coe again! Couldn't quite this time. Clearing kick. Long ball into the middle of the ground. Goodman managed to spoil Mackenzie, who recovered. Got it to Edmonds. Goodman ran on and got it back. Hooks it back around the corner on the left. Brilliant kick, but it just floated too far. Jorgensen needs to get on the boot. Oh. He couldn't quite. He probably should have went in midair. But it just bounced a fraction too much for him.
It did.
Rush behind.
Good on him for running onto that, though, the big fella. Valasaris now 37 disposals. Fairly 36.
El Hawley would be north of 32, wouldn't he?
27.
Wow. He's a quality, as the others. I'm not saying the others aren't. Ollie Moran kicks to the wing. Good clear run at the footy from Gown. Brings it back in board. Nunes has it knocked away from him by Whack. Whacked away, you could say. Nunes went back and got it. Trying to work his way through was Franks. Came to Mackenzie, sent it in towards the pocket. Jorgensen and Smith, tap back by Smith towards the line. They want deliberate, they get deliberate.
Brave to pay that out here.
Well, short. There was a Frankston player in the vicinity in Ollie Moran. The umpire decided there wasn't that much of an effort. Here is Hamilton with the banana. We've never seen a banana shaped like that. Still a chance here for the Bullants, but it squirts out of the grasp there of Mackenzie and through for a behind. So it's 51 points, Aldo.
Yeah.
How do you sum that up? Does that feel about right?
It does. Even though Frankston had missed a lot of shots at goal, Bullants have been in the game for a long time.
Same as last week against Geelong when they ended up losing by a similar margin. They just don't quite have the class to go the full 4 quarters, and with those couple of keys out, it does hurt in the end as Bailey Tome wins a free kick. That might be his 3rd or 4th of those for the night. He'll set it up on the left boot. Can he get a mark in the goal square? Jackson Voss dropped it. Flips out the back. Mackenzie tried to duck under the tackle, couldn't get clear. Nice hand pass came up to Riley, left behind by Moran. And that will be tied up. And it will be balled up.
I've been having a good think, and I know that Valasaris and Fairley have had a lot of the footy and El Hawley, but a lot of small kicks, small possessions, not really meaningful. So I'm going to give my best on ground to Milne. He's had 27 and all quality possessions.
Yep, I'm agreeing. Seb Quirk is the real contender too, I think. What he's done as an extractor.
In saying that, I think Tom Murphy's had a very good game as well.
Murphy's been terrific. They're the best 3 for Frankston. Trying to step through was King. It was won by Murphy right on cue. Sends a high kick out towards the wing. Gown gives away a push in the back, says the umpire. The pod like that. Not. Max Johnson goes towards centre half forward. Moran knocked the ball down. El Hawley hooks it back on goal! Across the face. Good effort.
Sure if he got a hand on that either. It was a great effort. They haven't scored a goal this quarter, the Bullants.
They've had a couple of chances. Haven't got it over the line. Accurately, anyway. As Voss brought it out towards the broadcast. Jones flew high. Couldn't bring it to ground. Drawing the man nicely was Lockie Riley to O'Leary. Popped it around the corner and found Murphy. Yeah, we overlooked him a little bit, didn't we? He's been wonderful. O'Leary promptly kicks it out on the full. It's going to be a free kick to the Ants, and Velasaris will have number 38. Am I right, Elbo? He found Hayes, who's pushing towards 30 as well.
Yep, 38 for Velasaris.
Pops it up towards the wing. Grant flies, missed it cleanly. McKenzie back to Lockie Riley, across to Barlow, gave it to Milne. He's going to sweep through the middle of the ground and lace it out to Gown, who dropped a sitter. Velasaris for 39. Can he get to 40? You'd think he probably will. Cooper puts it out wide. O'Leary steps around fairly, runs to 50 and drives another point. And that'll do us. As the siren sounds, the Frankston Dolphins have won their second game in a row, and they find themselves